Good day, good evening, or hello. Drop a comment as to where you are. I'm in South Africa. Welcome back to Incognito Stories. Thank you for showing up. We journey once again into the past, exploring the paranormal, ghostly encounters, mysterious legends, and real-life disasters that continue to fascinate and unsettle people around the world. So, relax, sit back, lie down if you prefer, grab a coffee or some popcorn and step into a world where fact and fiction often blur together. Are these merely stories born from imagination, or are they based on events that truly happened? We may never know. As usual, a like and subscribe is not compulsory, but it would be highly appreciated, and with that said and done, I will begin. Flat Rock Park was built to be the perfect campground: hot showers, covered carports, cozy chalets, spotless toilets, and a fire pit at every site. There was only one problem nobody mentioned on the brochure. The property line ran directly along Hollow Creek Cemetery, the most haunted graveyard in the county. Four friends, Maya, Levi, Lorna, and Brent, pull into Flat Rock Park just before sunset, ready for a weekend of relaxation. What follows is the longest night of their lives. Maya parks the car under a wooden carport with a hand-painted sign that reads, Spot 7. She steps out, stretching, and admires the neat rows of chalets lining the tree line. Levi unloads the cooler while Lorna photographs the fire pit for her socials. Brent wanders toward the low stone wall at the edge of the property, peering over it at rows of crooked, moss-covered headstones just beyond the trees. Brent calls the others over, joking that their site backs right up to a cemetery. Lorna laughs it off, saying it will make for good photos. Levi checks them into their chalet, noting the front desk clerk seemed oddly eager for them to leave the office before dark. The clerk mutters something under her breath about the ones who don't stay buried as the group walks away, but none of them hear her clearly. The group settles in as the sun dips below the tree line. They start a fire, and Levi tells a light-hearted ghost story to set the mood, unaware of how close to the truth he actually is. As the fire crackles, a cold wind rolls in from the cemetery, and the temperature drops noticeably. Lorna shivers and pulls her jacket tighter. In the distance, past the stone wall, a faint blue light flickers between the headstones. Maya notices the light first and points it out. The group falls quiet, watching as the light drifts slowly along the cemetery's edge before vanishing behind a large mausoleum. Brent insists it's just fog reflecting off a security light, though there is no security light anywhere nearby. Levi grabs a flashlight, half joking that he's going to go check it out, but Lorna grabs his arm and tells him to sit back down. The wind picks up again, rattling the chalet's windows. Somewhere in the dark, a low, mournful moan rolls across the campground, long and hollow, like it's coming from underground. The fire gutters despite there being no gust of wind at ground level. The group goes quiet, exchanging nervous glances. Then, just as quickly as it started, the moaning stops, and the night goes unnervingly silent, the kind of silence where even the crickets have stopped. Lorna suggests they head inside the chalet for the night, and the others agree quickly. As they gather their chairs, Maya notices the blue light again, closer now, drifting along the stone wall toward their site. She doesn't say anything, hoping it will simply pass. Inside the chalet, the group locks the door and tries to laugh off the tension, but the mood has shifted. Levi checks his phone and finds he has no signal, despite having full bars just an hour earlier. Brent jokes that the cemetery is jamming their phones, though nobody laughs this time. A soft knocking begins at the door, 3 slow, deliberate taps. The group freezes. Dev asks who it is, but there's no answer, only another set of 3 taps, closer to the window this time. Lorna peers through the curtain and sees a pale figure in old-fashioned clothing standing just past the carport, unmoving, staring directly at the chalet. The lights inside the chalet flicker violently before cutting out completely, plunging the room into darkness. Someone, or something, begins scratching slowly along the outside wall, dragging from one end of the chalet to the other. Brent fumbles for his flashlight, and when the beam finally clicks on, the pale figure is gone from the window, but the front door creaks open on its own, revealing the cemetery mist rolling in across the campsite. The group bolts outside toward the car, but the once quiet cemetery is now alive with movement. Translucent figures rise slowly from behind headstones, drifting through the fog, their faces gaunt and eyes hollow. A chorus of whispering voices rises from every direction at once, overlapping, indistinct, but unmistakably aimed at the group. Levi fumbles with the car keys as the pale figure from the window reappears directly in front of the carport, blocking their path. Maya screams and pulls Brent back as a second figure emerges from the tree line beside them. Lorna spots a gap between the chalets leading toward the front office and yells for everyone to run that way instead. The group sprints between the rows of chalets as the spectral figures pursue, gliding rather than walking, gaining ground unnaturally fast. The blue light multiplies into dozens of flickering orbs weaving through the trees around them. Brent trips over a tent stake and Levi doubles back to haul him up, losing precious seconds as the nearest ghost reaches out a translucent hand toward them. They burst through the front office door just as the ghosts reach the threshold. The office clerk, waiting calmly behind the counter as if she expected them, slams an old iron bolt across the door. The pursuing spirits stop dead. At the doorframe, unable to cross, pressing pale faces against the glass before dissolving into mist. Breathless and shaking, the group demands answers. The clerk explains that the campground was built on land the cemetery never agreed to give up, and every night after dark, the dead reclaim it until sunrise. She hands them a faded paper map showing a narrow gravel road that skirts the cemetery's edge, the only route out that doesn't cross consecrated ground. The four friends pile back into the car under the cover of the office's iron threshold, engine roaring to life on the first try. As they pull out, mist swallows the campground behind them. The blue lights rising once more from the tree line like 100 watching eyes. Maya glances in the rearview mirror and sees the pale figure standing exactly where the carport used to be, watching them go, unmoving, until the road curves and the campground disappears completely from view. By the time they reach the highway, the sky ahead is already turning grey with the first light of dawn. Nobody speaks for a long while. Finally, Brent breaks the silence, asking if anyone else wants to review the campground online. Lorna, still catching her breath, simply says they're never, ever going camping again. So, you have watched until the end or are a returning viewer. Thanks for watching, subscribe and drop a comment letting us know where you're from. I personally will answer all comments. I love making these type of videos and can watch them over and over again, mainly because it soothes me and makes me relax and fall asleep. And when I wake up during the night I simply replay them over again and again, not specifically my own, but similar content. Keep well and I hope you will watch my previous and my next ones. God bless and good night. I hope you enjoyed the Flat Rock Haunted Campground which I created and dedicated to my grandchildren Maya, Jade and Levi and to my closest friends Lorna and Brent. We've come a long way together from the babbling brook stream in Swellendam with 4 200km cycle tours and multiple Cape Argus cycle tours as well to now. Thanks to everyone involved, splendid memories we all agree, which are timeless.